Netanyahu talks peace as he lands in the States. Barkat discusses the future of the capital with the Jerusalem Post. Secular Jews react to Haredi protest against draft bill. And film about Holocaust survivor wins Oscar a week after her death. Shalom and welcome to the Jerusalem Post News. Here are the top stories for March 3rd. Minutes after landing on US soil today, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu addressed the Israeli-Palestinian peace process ahead of a meeting with US President Barack Obama scheduled for Monday evening.
לטנגו הזה במזרח התיכון זקוקים לפחות שלושה. רציתי להגיד שניים, אבל שניים ישנם. זה ישראל וארצות הברית. עכשיו צריך לראות אם נמצאים גם הפלסטינים.
Netanyahu's comments followed remarks made by Obama, published on Sunday evening in an interview with Bloomberg's Jeffrey Goldberg. Obama said that America's ability to, quote, manage the international fallout is going to be limited if Israel does not strike a peace deal with the Palestinians and there is continued aggressive settlement construction. In addition to meeting Obama, Netanyahu was also scheduled to meet US Secretary of State John Kerry and Vice President Joe Biden. In an exclusive interview with the Jerusalem Post last week, Jerusalem Mayor Nir Barkat discussed issues concerning Haredim, the workforce and the IDF, and also touched upon the subject of peace negotiations with regard to the future of the capital.
You cannot take a city, divide it. It will never function. Cities stay dysfunctional or get reunited again. So why go there in the first place? Especially when you're talking about a city that its DNA is so unique as a united city with respect to all faiths. So both ideologically and practically, the city cannot and will not be divided, and any attempt to do that will fail. It will not work.
Barkat will be speaking at the Jerusalem Post conference in New York on April 6th, and you can watch the full interview with him on jpost.com. Hundreds of thousands of Haredim turned out at yesterday's mass prayer rally in Jerusalem against the government's conscription bill, which will end decades of exemptions for the community from IDF service.
It's important to tell the state of Israel that we are opposed to their political philosophies, that we feel that the contribution that the Haredi elements of society are making will help the army, and through our contributions on the religious spectrum, we are arm in arm with the army, helping the state of Israel.
Secular onlookers expressed contempt at the protest, telling our Jerusalem reporter Daniel Eisenbud that the Haredi community should serve in the army or do national service, and that secular citizens are carrying a disproportionate burden. Many described the Haredim as parasites and argued that they should be able to both study the Torah and serve in the army. And a documentary on the world's oldest Holocaust survivor won an Oscar last night, just a week after its subject, Alice Herz-Sommer, passed away at the great age of 110. The documentary, called The Lady in Number 6, Music Saved My Life, directed by Malcolm Clark, won Best Documentary Short at the Academy Awards in Los Angeles.
She was the most unique, amazing individual that you could imagine. So to get this far, it's bittersweet, I have to say, because poor Alice did pass away last week, just literally 7 days before the Oscars. So this has been a rough week, because every time we meet someone from the press, they say, "What do you feel about Alice passing away?" And of course, what we feel is pretty devastated, and every day we get reminded of it. So we haven't really had any time to grieve, but we have had time, or will, I hope, have time to celebrate, because this is all about her.
The Prague-born pianist returned to her hometown after the Holocaust, but 4 years after, she left for Israel, where she taught at the Jerusalem Academy of Music. She also performed in concerts, which were frequently attended by Golda Meir. Alice said she loved her 37 years living in Israel, but when her only child decided to move to London, she went with him and remained there for the rest of her life. That's it for today. We'll be back tomorrow. Until then, shalom from the Jerusalem Post studio.